So like I was wondering which aspect would the government place a slightly more emphasis on? Yeah, and like for example, if there was a strategy that's more environmentally sustainable, but less economically competitive, as compared to a strategy that was more economically competitive and less environmentally sustainable, which one would you choose?
What would you choose? May I ask?
Personally, I would go for environmental sustainability at this phase because I believe that Singapore is really quite well developed in terms of the economy. So, yeah, but as in, I'm curious.
So your argument is we can afford it, so we should do it.
I should think so, but I'm curious as to what the government stand on is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you the question because no one can argue with the position that environmental sustainability is a good thing, right? Right? I mean, if you can do something that's environmentally sustainable, you should be doing it. The question is, at what cost? Right? And that is the policy question that you're asking. Because at the end of the day, if we do something and it improves the environment and it makes it more sustainable, then I think we're in a good position to, preserve longer term options for Singapore. We should be pushing ahead. But the question is, will it then create a problem for us in other areas, such as economic competitiveness, that will not be recoverable, right? So some costs we can bear, but if it is extreme or it is something that can change our relative positioning in certain sectors, we got to think very hard about it. So this is where the decisions always revolve around. So things like, for example, better and more efficient energy management. Our Environmental Conservation Act imposes a cost on businesses because we are telling the business, look, you've got to spend the money to employ people who are going to look after your energy consumption and your energy habits, and you've got to incur costs to make reports on this, and we will monitor it, and you may have to track it over time, right? So that is a cost that we think we can bear. So we must be calibrated in the way we impose such costs as part of our trade-off between environmental sustainability and economic competitiveness. I would agree with you, at this stage on Singapore's development, we are probably better able to consider some of these options than we might have been, say, maybe 2 decades, 3 decades ago. So but each of these decisions, I just want to make the point that each of these decisions is a trade-off, and therefore we need to think about them in the context of what does it mean for us, because for us, our businesses, and therefore the jobs that Singaporeans are doing. And then we make the calculation. Now, if the whole world does it, it's an easy call. We will do it and we will compete on the level playing field. If we're the only ones doing it, it's very asymmetric. Still may be worthwhile doing for certain things, but we have to be careful what the trade-offs are. Or if some of us are doing it in the world, well worth considering as well as part of our own position as a partner in the global agreements.